Hi, Peace family. I'm Thad WOLFRAM, a member here at Peace. Peace leadership began reaching out to me in March for consultation regarding COVID-19. Recently, leadership asked me if I would be willing to speak to the congregation and lay leaders regarding the virus. Sharing a little about my background, I have a master's degree in medical microbiology from Michigan State, where I focused on respiratory infections and taught infectious disease laboratory courses for the med school. I've spent time in public health research, and my entire career spread across the broader healthcare, biotechnology, laboratory, and pharmaceutical space. I know there are a lot of different thoughts regarding the current COVID-19 pandemic, and that makes sense given all of the information out there and the many questions still outstanding regarding the virus. Today, I'd like to take a few moments to share some information regarding the pandemic we are currently experiencing, as well as the best practices for mitigating spread of the virus. There are 3 data points I think we can key in on as we think about the best way to all interact as a community, and especially as we prepare to return to gathering in church. The first is how easily this virus seems to transmit from person to person. It's a really easy illness to catch. It's spread in large droplets from coughs and sneezes, small droplets from talking and singing, and from surfaces. When one individual coughs on a surface, or touches their mouth and nose and touches a surface, and another individual comes along, touches that contaminated surface, and then touches their own face. So keeping the virus out of the air by wearing a mask and off of surfaces and faces through cleaning and disinfecting is the intent of the public health and CDC guidances we've all been adhering to. The other precaution in place is social distancing. This helps keep each of us further away from the droplets in the air caused by others, as well as limits how frequently we come into contact with potentially infected people and surfaces. Even though masks also help to contain much of this, they aren't a perfect answer for containing droplets. And we all do have a tendency to frequently touch our faces in and around our masks without even thinking about it. Social distancing adds one more layer of safety against this, to maximize how we contain the spread of COVID-19. The second data point is that we don't have a vaccine for this coronavirus. This limits our ability to slow the spread of the virus the way we do with many others that pose major health concerns. It limits us to those steps we as individuals can take, such as frequent hand washing, wearing masks, and social distancing, and makes those steps all the more important. Without them, the virus would quickly spread to a very large number of people. Lastly, while the good news for the vast majority of us is that catching the virus means pretty minimal impact to our health, for some people it can be much worse, including the potential loss of their life. Considering these points, this means we're living in a time with a virus which, if left unchecked, will infect a very large number of people. Even with a low death rate, given the large number of people infected, that would mean a high death toll. As we think about our family, friends, neighbors, and church, what we have to remember is the steps we're taking as a community are to try and continue to shield those who are vulnerable from contracting the virus and keep them from being included in that death toll. In this way, we protect them as we continue to learn and try to find new and alternative ways to stop, treat, track, and or eliminate the virus so we can return to a more normal routine again. So what can we do as believers and citizens of the community? We can maintain our increased awareness of washing and sanitizing our hands, especially after being out in public. We can keep that 6 feet of distance between ourselves and others who are not a part of our households, particularly when we're indoors. And we can wear those masks, as uncomfortable, hot, and otherwise cumbersome as they are. Remember, you wearing that mask is more effective at keeping you from spreading the virus to others than it is from protecting you from catching it. In this way, wearing a mask represents another way we can show our Christian love to others, making the effort to support the health and well-being of those within our church and those outside as we work to go and spread the gospel. Thank you for letting me spend a little time with you today. I continue to pray for God's blessings of peace and protection upon each of us as He guides us through this pandemic.